You are 21 years old. You have $237 in your bank account. And somewhere across the country, someone exactly your age, same salary, same rent, same groceries, is quietly building $1,180,000. The only difference between you and them is $10 a day. Not a side hustle, not a trust fund, not luck. $10. The price of two coffees. And right now, you're probably spending it without even noticing. But here's what nobody tells you. It's not really about the $10. It's about what that $10 turns into, and why most people will never see it happen to them. Picture this. It's 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. You're lying in bed, phone in hand, and you open your bank app, not because you want to, because you need to know if you can eat tomorrow without overdrafting. The number reads $43.18. You have 4 days until payday. Your rent is due in 9. You close the app. You open it again. The number doesn't change. This is the financial life that nobody films, nobody posts about, but almost everyone is living. You make around $38,000 a year. That sounds okay until you break it down. After taxes, you're bringing home about $2,600 a month. Your rent is $1,100. Your car payment is $310. Insurance is $140. Your phone is $85. Subscriptions you forgot about. Netflix, Spotify, that gym you went to twice. Another $60. Groceries, gas, student loan minimums. By the 12th of the month, you're already operating on thin air. And the worst part, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just playing a game that was never explained to you. Here's the thing nobody taught you in school. There are two types of money. Money you spend and money that works while you sleep. Most people only ever touch the first kind. You earn money, you pay bills, money disappears, you earn more money. The cycle repeats for 40 years. And then one day, you're 65, tired, and realizing you never actually escaped the loop. But there is a way out. And it starts with understanding one quiet, almost invisible truth about how wealth actually builds. Money left alone, invested, grows by itself, not because of magic, because of math. When your money earns a return, say 10% in a year, you don't just keep that return. Next year, that return also earns a return. And the year after, that too earns a return. It compounds. It multiplies on top of itself, year after year after year. The problem is it feels like nothing at first. That's why most people quit. But here's the number that changes everything. $1,180,000. That is exactly what $10 a day, invested starting at 21, becomes by the time you're 65. At a 10% average annual return, the historical average of the U.S. stock market. No inheritance, no bonus, no luck, just $10 a day and time. The question is, where does it actually come from? And how does someone with $43 in their account ever get there? It starts smaller than you think. At 21, you're not trying to get rich. You're just trying to stop drowning. But drowning is expensive too. Overdraft fees at $35 a hit. Payday advances with 400% interest, late fees, credit card minimums that never touch the actual balance. The system profits when you have nothing. So the first move isn't glamorous, it's mechanical. You find $10. Not from some massive life overhaul. You cut one food delivery order a week, $14 saved. You make coffee at home 3 days, $9 saved. You cancel one subscription you forgot, $7 saved. Suddenly, you have more than $10. You have $30. And you stop there. You don't touch it. You don't spend it. You send it somewhere it can't be easily reached. That somewhere has a name. A Roth IRA, Individual Retirement Account, funded with money you already paid taxes on. Which means, and this part matters, when you pull it out at retirement, you pay zero taxes on the gains. None. The government doesn't touch it. Every dollar of that $1,180,000 stays yours. You open one online. It takes 11 minutes. Fidelity, Vanguard, Charles Schwab, all free to open. You set a recurring automatic transfer of $300 a month. That's your $10 a day. You don't wait to feel ready. You automate it before you can talk yourself out of it. Inside that Roth IRA, you put the money into a single index fund, something like VOO or FSKAS. This fund owns a tiny piece of the 500 largest companies in America: Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, thousands of others. When America's economy grows, your money grows with it. You don't pick stocks, you don't watch charts, you own everything passively, automatically. At 21, you have $300 invested. It feels meaningless. It isn't. A year passes. You're 22. You've stayed consistent. Not perfectly. There were 2 months you missed, but you made up for it. Your Roth IRA now holds $3,800. The market returned 9% that year. You earned $210 you didn't work for. It still feels small. You still check your bank account at night sometimes. But something has shifted, barely visible. You stopped being afraid every single morning. Your friend calls, wants to go to Vegas for the weekend. $600 trip. You say maybe next month. That's the trade-off nobody talks about. The small, quiet sacrifices. Not dramatic ones. You're not starving. Just steady, boring, invisible discipline. While your friend posts pool photos, you're at home, and your account quietly grows. That's the part of the story that doesn't get shared. You're 25 now. You got a small raise, $44,000 a year. You increased your monthly investment to $400. Your Roth IRA balance crosses $20,000. You remember when that number felt impossible. Now it just sits there, growing on its own. In that single year, your investments earned over $1,800 without you lifting a finger. That's a month of rent, generated by math. You still have financial stress. Your car needed $1,200 in repairs. You had 3 months of savings set aside, an emergency fund, so you paid it without touching your investments. That emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expenses kept in a high-yield savings account, is the thing that protects the system. Without it, one bad month destroys years of progress. Most people don't have it. You do. And that single difference means your investment account keeps compounding untouched, while everyone around you starts over from zero. You're 30 now. Your balance reads $68,000. This year alone, your investments generated $6,800 in returns. You didn't increase your contribution this year. Didn't need to. The compounding is doing the heavy lifting now. Something else has changed. You don't talk about money the way you used to. You don't feel behind anymore. You feel like you're running a race most people don't know they're in. Not with arrogance, with silence. Because money that works quietly doesn't need to announce itself. Your parents call. They're struggling with medical bills. Your dad didn't invest at your age. He didn't know how. Nobody showed him. You help where you can. And you understand for the first time that financial ignorance isn't laziness, it's inheritance. You just happen to learn something he never did. You're 45. Your balance crosses $400,000. The math at this point stops feeling real. In a single year, a 10% return on $400,000 is $40,000, more than your first salary, generated by an account running silently in the background while you live your actual life. Your friends are having a different conversation now. 401k panics, playing catch-up, reading articles about how much you should have saved by 40 and feeling that cold sink in the stomach when they see the number. You remember that feeling. You don't feel it anymore. The lifestyle hasn't changed dramatically. You're not flying first class, you don't have a boat, but you have something rarer. Options. You could take a lower-paying job you actually like. You could take 6 months off. You could cover a family emergency without it destroying you. That is what financial security actually looks like. Not a private jet, just options. Just freedom from the worst version of any situation. You're 55. Your balance, $870,000. You haven't touched it in 34 years. The contributions you made between 21 and 55, your actual out-of-pocket money, add up to roughly $126,000. The rest, over $744,000, was built by compounding, by time, By the simple, boring, quiet act of not spending $10 a day when you were young. You think about the person you were at 21, opening your bank app at midnight, the $43.18, the 4 days until payday, the dull, grinding anxiety of being broke and young and confused about why the math of your life never seemed to add up. It added up. You just couldn't see it yet. You're 65. Your Roth IRA balance is $1,180,000. You withdraw it tax-free. Every dollar. The government gets nothing because you used the right account 4 decades ago for 11 minutes of your life. Somewhere right now, there is a 21-year-old checking their bank account at midnight. $43.18. 4 days until payday. Anxious, confused, spending $10 on something that disappears by morning. And there is another 21-year-old, same salary, same rent, same groceries, who just set up a $300 automatic transfer to a Roth IRA, who picked a simple index fund, who closed the app and went to sleep. Same age, same starting line. 44 years later, one of them has $1,180,000. The other one is still waiting for things to get easier. They never did.